We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Well-Hatted Cinema Club. Absolutely. We're back after about like a 3-4 week hiatus post-Oscars with two or three. Yeah. We've been enjoying the weather, enjoying the sunlight, traveling a bit. I just got back from Vegas. We got Brian to come visit us in an unmarked location where we live.
Yeah.
Together, so we got to hang out in person. We did not film or record in person podcast as we said we would, so maybe we need to issue an apology video for that. But regardless, some exciting news in our camp. Mike and Brian last week, as I was out of town, figured out how to post these recordings up on YouTube, so we're finally able to put these out to the public. We've been sitting on 4 episodes now. I think we got 3 up on the site on YouTube. So if you like movies, you like us, you like funny hats, come check us out at Well-Hatted Cinema Club. That's at Well-Hatted Cinema Club on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear it. I've been talking a lot already, so let's just hop into the agenda, and then I want to hear from you guys. So we're starting out with our movie news roundup. We got a couple live things dropping here. This is Wednesday. What is today? The 26th of March. So we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to get into our movie of the week that Micah picked out from. It's a doozy. Then Brian's got a movie budget game for us that we started last episode. We're going to finish it this go around. As always, Brian's going to pick our next movie of the week next week. And that'll be our show. But as we start out as always, guys, with a roundup of what we've been watching this week. So Brian, I'll kick it over to you. What have you been watching, good sir?
Well, yeah, thanks for that. I mean, obviously, we say this every week. It's a lot of TV show heavy times, but with the severance finale and everything. Movies, though, I watched the one that I hadn't seen. I watched Everything Must Go with Will Ferrell because it was on Prime and I was folding laundry and it was an hour for 30. I was one of those dramedy types. Pretty honestly, I mean, I wasn't earth shattering or anything, but it's about a guy who loses his wife and his job on the same day. He's got all his crap on the front lawn, and he decides, like, I'm just going to live here and start selling his stuff. Honestly, you don't really see Will Ferrell in dramatic roles like some comedic actors. I thought he did a pretty good job. I think it was very, just grounded, real performance. I thought it was kind of, not sad, just horribly depressing, the whole movie.
Sounds like it.
I thought it was going to lighten up a little bit, and it did, in ways. But I thought Will Ferrell was great. I'm like, I'd watch more movies like that with him. So that was a good watch. It's on Prime. If you're looking for a nice 30-minute kind of like dramedy watch, I'd recommend it. So that was my watch of the week. Pass it up to Mike, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Keeping it down in the dumps. I watched Magazine Dreams.
Oh, you did.
New old movie coming out of Jonathan Majors, filmed a few years ago. Just released last weekend or so. And it was he does a good job. You know, kind of always does a good job, but the movie was way darker than what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be more of like he overcomes some struggles, and it's more like his like Joker movie kind of. His character is got a whole lot of stuff going on. You know, it probably has some autism mixed in there. Grew up with no parents because the dad did a homicide, and then lives with his dying grandpa. Yeesh. Right, and he's got all these crazy body image issues from he just idolizes bodybuilders, so he's like angry and he's weird and asocial and he's huge, and he just all he wants to do is just win awards through bodybuilding. And then throughout the movie he keeps trying and failing new things, and he's so angry. But he was good. It was not at all the movie I thought it would be.
No. You were talking about that. We were in DC, I remember.
Yeah.
You wanted to see that. Worth the watch?
I would recommend. I just wouldn't go in with like a smile like I did. Like,
all right, yeah,
what is this about?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no.
Like an inspiring story is way more like, it's darker than The Wrestler or like $1 Million Baby or like the Todd Phillips Joker. I was just like, God, can this guy catch a break? It was terrible.
So they've been sitting on this movie for a while now, right? Through his controversy. When did this get recorded? Like around Creed 3? Around that time?
I think it would have been after Creed 3. I think it would have been like I don't know, either this year or like this past year or the year prior. I think like, in the way the winter overlaps.
Got you. I'll have to give it a watch.
Very cool. How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something outside of the sadness norm we got going on here, try and get the energy up. But on my flights to Vegas back, first off, the red eye from Vegas Sunday coming back was just not the right choice.
Yeah.
I've been hurting ever since. I stayed up the whole night rewatching shows I'm excited for. One of those was The Last of Us, trying to catch back up. I'm almost done with season 1. That's depressing, but I wanted something that was fun that could hit the other side of that palette. So I watched Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible, try and get all those done before Final Reckoning comes out.
I got to do that.
That's the end of May, right?
Hell yeah.
We're getting pretty close, like 2 months from now.
So quick, damn. I got to do. Are you on 1 through?
I just
all of them?
saw
Are you gonna start at,
Rogue Nation on
the
Prime.
shift?
I've seen Fallout recently. I've seen Dead Reckoning Part 1 recently. So I hadn't watched this one in a little while. Yeah, I mean it's a obviously you guys know it's a good time. Ilsa Faust. I mean, man, like I still think she's the best woman lead in this franchise. But
she's dead.
Now she's gone. She's gone, and so you get Captain British America instead. So you're welcome. But
Haley Atwell. Come on now.
But a great time. I had a great time with that movie. But anyway, that wraps it up for us this week. Do we just want to hop right into the movie news here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ivan. So Mike, who wrote this one?
I did. I wrote
Mike,
this
yeah,
one.
you want to kick us off?
I just saw it, and people we like doing stuff we're interested in. So we've got, I think this came out today actually. Barry Jenkins and Zendaya are teaming up for the Ronnie Spector biopic. She was like a musician from the '60s. She was in the Ronettes, and you might know her from, she sings like the "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" song. So I guess it's gonna follow her and her relationship with her husband, who was also her producer. Sounded pretty abusive. And then she was like an alcoholic and stuff. And then I was reading the article for it. I guess Phil Spector like murdered someone and went to jail. Murdered another artist, like a woman.
It sounds right. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't confirm that. When you say
it sounds he
right.
did murder someone.
No, I meant if I had heard that before.
Oh,
yeah. No. I believe it happened.
So that's wild. But it should be interesting.
I might see Barry Jenkins back in it because I heard like with Mufasa, which I didn't see, but like I'm pretty flat. But from what Barry Jenkins saying, he's like, I don't know what this isn't like directing.
For the money.
It's the money because it's not even like you're not even directing cameras. You basically directed an animated film, which like cool. But I think he was like, this is not really what I thought I was getting into. So it's like I think it's good to get him back to like how do you go from Moonlight to Mufasa, which I heard was better than the OG Lion King, maybe. I don't know. Not the
Mufasa better than...
Sorry. The 2019. Sorry, cut that.
Yeah, you're crazy. I'm leaving that in.
No, like the 2019 one. Of the same kind of look. Not the 1994 classic. But no,
you said the OG.
I did. As soon as I said it, I was like, forget that. No, I'm just saying, like, I like Moonlight a lot, and I'm excited to see him actually do a movie.
Yeah.
Not a theme park ride.
Same.
So the whole side of that, I read one article, I think it was the Deadline one, that said that when Ronnie Spector came on, because this has been in production, or they've been talking about making this film for a while, before she passed away in 2022, she selected Zendaya for the role, or that was like who she was interested in. I don't want to put that out there. I was trying to find the article I saw about it, but that would be pretty.
Who's to blame her? Get mad.
I mean, this has been.
If I look the tiniest about,
I'm excited for this. I think Brian, you kind of covered down on the whole seeing Barry Jenkins do something of this caliber again, not working with lines. So.
Right. I mean, how's it gonna? I feel like at the floor of it is that it's maybe forgettable. You know what I mean? The ceiling could be whatever it needs, whatever
And
we don't know.
Zendaya's part,
I don't think Barry Jenkins can come out and make like
on
a
Zendaya's
dud.
part. Let's see it. Like I think we've all been We loved her in Challengers. I'd love to see her.
She's on a good run.
Go for it in a role like this.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm excited about that. Then so we go with some yeah, this sounds good news to write to the.
I don't think this is bad news.
It's not bad news. This
right.
whole thing stinks.
All right, Brian. Anyway, let me talk about it. So the Bond franchise lands as producers Amy Pascal and David Heyman. And I tried to put in some of their past producing work just to smooth it over. So Amy Pascal is the Tom Holland Spider-Man because she's at Sony. Also, that includes Spider-Verse. She produced Challengers and the new Narnia, Brian, which we know you're a big fan of.
This is a Narnia podcast. It will be in every episode.
I'm not saying anything. We're done.
And then David Heyman, he did Marriage Story, Paddington, Barbie, Harry Potter, Gravity, Wonka, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Did you say Paddington?
That's why I put it in there. He did 1 and 2, but not 3.
Not in Peru.
I
like not a fan of Peru.
That was fine. That's great. I mean, honestly, now I'm back on board.
Yeah. This might be your guy. David Heyman might be the producer for you, Brian.
That is a great producer. I mean, it's exciting. I think it was more when I was getting negative Nelly about it. It was just like the stuff you heard initially about the Amazon buy. Like, it's obviously
scary.
Yeah.
It's James Bond. It could still be done right. These two people have produced some very crazy, great things. But like when you hear something like Amazon being bought and people like pitching like series to the producer, whoever's running it, I forget her name, and they're like, get her out of there so we can do it. I'm like, everything about this is scary. But I don't think, like you said, this isn't bad news. What you just told us. I think they seem like very capable producers.
Who do you think I think all these movies are well cast. So that gives me hope.
Great look at it.
Who do we land on? We threw a bunch of Bond ideas back a few weeks ago. Do we land on one?
We'll dig up those. I don't know.
Harris.
Yeah.
We talked about what was his name?
Harris Dickinson was one. There was Dev Patel was a
Daniel
big one.
Kaluuya. It's another.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah. I'll be excited. I'd be surprised if, to your point, Mike, about casting, if they went with like an unknown variable. I mean, I know that's people have talked about it before. If they just went and started casting randomly, so I don't think that'd be the case here, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to say though. I mean, like I it's relatively unknown might be the. I guess that's the point. Like it's like you're not. I don't think we're ever gonna see, like we talked about Idris Elba being too old and stuff like that. But they're not gonna be like Aaron Taylor Johnson is Bond, because that's like the big names. I feel like but like doesn't mean they're gonna go like way unknown. I don't know. You know what? We'll have to wait and see. They keep providing us news week to week.
Yeah,
just like Narnia. We'll keep talking about it.
I'm not going to talk about Narnia unless I have.
You've already done it. It's too late, Brian.
I didn't talk about it. All I did was I just acknowledged that you said Narnia.
Put a coin in the Narnia jar.
I don't have any coins. I gave it to the guy who blocks the entrance to my train station. I don't have any more.
Oh, you had $1 this week today.
Any more coins.
Or today, Brian. You did it.
I did. I had 50 cents. He had a cigarette this time. I had to. He goes,
did he give you a little steak,
He's
Brian?
like, he let it get. He like pivoted to block change. I'm like, here.
He's like, where's yesterday's?
So now, luckily, I have to get some more for Monday.
Brian, you're getting shook down. I didn't know about this.
He's
grabbing you by your ankles.
No, it's all right. He's just a guy who guards the train station that I have to go to 3 days a week.
You have to answer his riddles threes.
No, I'm pedestrian. He's actually pretty nice. It's just he's too big to be asking for change. It's just way too big.
Like size or like length or width?
No, just giant in the hoodie.
Oh wow!
Hey man, you got some change? He like steps like a bouncer, and I'm like,
whoa.
Oh. I'm like, it's like 5 o'clock, man. Can I just go home?
You fucked up by giving him change the first time, Doug.
I know. Now he
knows
me.
you.
Yeah, he's like, you're holding his pocket.
I said one time, I'll get you tomorrow, and then he recognized me. The next day, he's like, I'm like,
where's the
fuck.
rest of it?
This was a mistake. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on.
I mean, we were talking about casting for Bond.
All right.
We were on a roll in today's long casting reveal for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys tune in? Did you guys watch the chair? Who watched the chair?
No.
Who watched the chairs
live?
No, I didn't tune in live.
No,
I know you were watching the chairs.
I have a job.
I know you.
I'm employed. I'm employed.
Also, it wasn't even a fun stream. They moved. Didn't they move the camera every 10 minutes?
Like 19 or 13 minutes. Brutal. They're just wasting these people's time.
Listen, I'll just open with this. Like, we could talk about the specific castings. I'll pull the list up. I just want to say, like, whatever. Oh, they're pulling in multiverse. I don't care. This movie is slated to release in May of 2026. I was telling Peyton about this. I don't think people are realizing that we're really looking down the barrel of what could possibly be a record-breaking piece of shit. Like, this movie, have they even started shooting?
Yes, it's shooting right now.
Yeah.
It
goes in production.
Yeah, it's in.
It goes. Good. So they started shooting. That gives them just over a year to turn a freaking giant Avengers movie around. This is going to be. I don't give a shit who's in casting it. This is going to be catastrophically horrible, and I can't wait personally.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you gotta. I also have that feeling. But let's hear.
Were there any standouts on the cast? Let's go through the basics right now. All right. Chris Hemsworth. Thor.
Run them through.
Chris Hemsworth. Thor.
Is this the order they released them in?
So that would be the oldest.
Do you want me to go in that order?
At least in the MCU, at least in terms of a character.
They also Robert Downey Jr. is obviously at the top.
For playing the same character,
else.
That's like the only OG because we don't have a Jeremy Renner or a Mark Ruffalo in here.
You got Tom Hiddleston.
True, I guess that's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
Pretty close. Yeah,
was his name on there?
Yeah, he is. He's in. He's somewhere in the middle
here.
The
two longest running actors.
So I like how some of them get announced from movies that haven't even come out yet. Like there's Thunderbolt people.
Which,
like the guy who plays
if I could say that, if you guys noticed in the Thunderbolts one, it was everyone except for the person that plays Taskmaster, which is already the joke. We're all like, Taskmaster's clipped.
She's dead.
She's gonna get murked, and they didn't even try. They didn't even try here.
No, it's so obvious. They even in the newer trailers of Thunderbolts, they started they used to kind of like make it seem like she was part of the gang. They've ditched that because everyone caught onto it so early. Like they've just been like, no, it's not her.
It does take some of the stakes out of this movie for me. Of a movie they've been actually marketing pretty well. I'm still excited to see it, but to me, I'm like,
no one dies in a Marvel movie. When's the last time someone died for real?
That's fair.
Wait, the villains.
Some of
them. Some of the villains. Okay.
Listen, there's Multiverse Taskmaster, and she's also played by Robert Downey Jr. She's coming back. All right, you want to keep reading down the list?
Please.
Yeah.
All right, you got Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm. That's just the event that you knew that was going to be there.
Not to bring up Mission Impossible again, but Vanessa Kirby.
We got Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan. I'm going to go through the base. They're little ones. We got
Sebastian list them all, Brian.
Letitia Wright. No, I'm just going through. Paul Rudd, Wyatt Russell. So another Thunderbolt coming back. Tenoch Huerta Mejia. I am sorry if I pronounced that. That's Namor from Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, stay out of the water, Brian. You're on thin ice.
Yeah.
He's coming for you.
Eben Moss, Ben Grimm. Simu Liu, Shang-Chi. Florence Pugh, Yelena. Kelsey. So this is when you get to the little more deeper guys. Kelsey Grammer is back as Beast.
Who's Kelsey?
He was Beast in the OG X-Men trilogy.
Apparently, he was
he's an old
hinted at in the post-credit scene for the new Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he's in that. He's in the post-credit scene. Apparently, I didn't see it.
Wow! I watched that movie. I still didn't. Oh, you know what? That's so funny. I remember what he's doing now. I remember this. I watched it.
You're the only one who hasn't seen the movie. Like, who's Kelsey Grammer?
No, I own the OG X-Men. I just didn't know his name.
He's in all makeup in the original, so it's like he doesn't if you look him up right now on your computer, he's an older bald guy.
Yeah, every time I hear Kelsey Grammer, I think of Country Grammar.
No,
I think of Andy Grammer.
And yeah.
So then you got another string of some new people. Louis Pullman is Bob Reynolds, Sentry. That's a. Danny Ramirez, Joaquin Torres, Falcon. I didn't see the new Captain America.
Ooh.
You can tell me about that. Is that news?
No, he fell out of the sky.
I mean, he seems like he could. Yeah.
Okay.
If people were to be killed off in this movie,
it would be him.
Start with him. He's too plucky, all right, man? You're a grown-ass man. You're a grown-ass man. Tone down the pluck.
I heard somebody say that they're at one point he just leaves the movie, and then someone's like, why? Because I didn't want him in the last part. He just leave the movie?
He fell out of the sky, Brian. Because he was being plucky.
What do you mean
he was being plucky in the giant water battle.
And then this is where it pushed in a movie with the president turned into a Red Hulk, he pushed the bounds of disbelief when he looked us in the eye, the audience, and he was like, "As a little boy, I always wanted to be Falcon."
That was tough.
Lion ass.
Yeah, sure you
in
did.
the hospital, just glazing your boss.
That's crazy.
And get out of here. All right, sorry.
Right. No, you're good. No, I mean it's fun. We should talk about with Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm,
Right.
Dave Harbour, Red Guardian, another Thunderbolt.
Can they kill him already? I just don't like David Harbour.
Yeah, I know you don't. Winston Duke, M'Baku,
Cool.
from the Black Panther.
Let's go.
Hannah John Kamen, who's Ghost, who's now going to be in Thunderbolts again. Tom Hiddleston's
Very
Loki.
cool.
And then we have a little string of Thousands Fox X-Men. We have Patrick Stewart, Charles X. I mean, cool. I love Patrick Stewart
Did
as
he get
Xavier.
his brain
but, I mean,
exploded?
that's a different variant, Micah.
Oh.
Just wish he would have stopped after Logan, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Right. It's like, wow,
going.
what about a profound death? Oh, they haven't announced Hugh Jackman, but like, it's probably only a matter of time. Ian McKellen.
Yeah, he'll do anything for
Magneto.
money, apparently.
Alan,
Dude,
this one is
this
kind
is
of cool, but
insane
again,
to
it's
me.
all just.
Is
Alan
he
Cumming
still-
as,
he's still walking?
What's his name? Nightcrawler. What?
Alan Cumming?
Who? Alan
Yeah,
Cumming or Ian McKellen?
he's like a game show host now. Yeah, like
was just gonna
exclusively
say,
a
Ian
game show
McKellen,
host. Yeah.
Okay.
So you were talking about Ian McKellen. Yeah.
Didn't he? No, I said like Eric. What I heard before I cut out was like I remember when they said when they were filming the Hobbit movies, which was now probably a decade ago, that he like couldn't do a lot of the sequences with the actors because he was like sick and like he had to kind of like prop him up in front of a green screen to film stuff because he's old.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. And that was like 10 years ago.
And he was saying...
Did he fall off a stage
Yeah, he's like...
recently?
I don't know. I didn't hear about that. He's 85. But to your point, Brian, like, he said also how it was, like, depressing for him to be, like, around all that green screen and everything. And I'm like, you're coming back for an MCU
you wanna act,
movie?
yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here, man?
And not even like a fun like little cameo. I'm sure he would do that just because he loves the game. You know what I mean? Like if it was like he's gonna come in for one scene, but like they announced him as a cast member.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know. It could be. I'm telling you guys, it could be the worst piece of shit we've ever seen in our lives. Tune in. Next, Rebecca Romijn, original Mystique.
That's crazy.
That's not really. I mean, cool.
They're going back to the OGs,
Nice.
yeah.
James.
Yeah. I can't be
then we
mad
got
at that.
James Marsden, Scott Summers, Cyclops. That's cool. That's actually the only one I'm kind of.
They got his
excited to see.
handsome ass
I like this
up
character.
there. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. Channing Tatum is Gambit. I don't know. I know a lot of people are excited about that one. I can kind of take it or leave it.
He's like
Eric,
a joke. Like he talks funny, like he's a joke.
Ooh, I'm
Why is he
name
here?
of myself.
Yeah,
I think
I don't
He got-
care.
he died and that was cool, you know?
Mhm.
But now he's alive.
And then we have Pedro Pascal, obviously, and then Robert Downey Jr. And I think that's everyone, unless there was more announced that I'm
So
missing.
that was gonna be my comment. Was like, yes, that's what I've seen, and I think it speaks to like
double
who
check.
isn't named there that we thought we were gonna see. Like
Brie
yeah, I
Larson.
think about recent Marvel
Benedict
movies, I guess.
Cumberbatch.
None of the Guardians.
Guardians are done.
Brie Larson.
It's interesting. Everyone on this
None of the
list.
Guardians. Yeah, Brie Larson. That's a big one because that just came
Yeah.
out.
It's interesting if you look at this list. It's like outside of Loki and Thor, it's everyone that really like has had a movie in these recent post Endgame, like and led in those movies. Outside of also the old Fox, X-Men, but so like it's you have your Black Panther cast, you have your Thunderbolts cast, like then you have your one-offs like Shang-Chi, but I mean no Doctor Strange is interesting. No one in the Marvels is interesting.
No
There's
Eternals.
a TV show element missing. Like half of the
Yeah.
Marvels is from TV. Actually, 2/3 are from TV. She-Hulk not there.
No
anyone, Wanda or Vision or their kids not there.
Yeah.
No
I didn't think of that.
Hawkeye's not there. Either Hawkeye's not there.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's
Another
not. Well,
TV show. Okay, but he made the fucking. They paid for the fucking thing.
no, but what's he gonna do? That's so funny.
I'm just saying, they made it. They even had a even it was tied in with Blade. Supposedly, but that movie never came out.
I think it's
also
like,
he's not here.
I think it's also you just brought up Blade, but like they brought back Channing Tatum, but they're not bringing back Deadpool, which just seems like a miss there.
No.
But,
Well, because they want this to be PG-13, and a soft version of him wouldn't work in the It
doesn't work in the MCU in general. Like I thought, I don't like Deadpool and Wolverine, but I get the appeal. It was fun enough for what it was, but I'm saying like he doesn't work in the MCU in like the grand scheme of things, right? You start like actually incorporating him into Doomsday. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I mean, you would have to raise the audience grade up to like an R rating for him, or bring him down, and I think that doesn't work.
I don't know which one's worse. Like, well, actually, I'd like to see that. Actually, no, that's not true. I do know which one's worse.
Hey, any movie Ryan Reynolds does in like the last 10 years is just PG-13 Deadpool if it's not actual Deadpool. So that's your answer. That's what it looks like.
Detective Pikachu is just Deadpool in Pokemon universe.
In small yellow mouse form. Yes.
In small yellow form.
Small yellow.
The gimmick was funny. When Detective Pikachu came out, I was like, that's funny. Now I'm over. I'm so over the Deadpool gimmick.
I'll be curious with who's not listed here, though. Like, because I know they're two movies, right? So I wouldn't put. What's the second one? Secret Wars or something?
Yeah.
And that's like a whole. My limited knowledge of comic runs.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, my limited knowledge of comic runs is like.
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man is in this, actually.
No, Ant-Man's in this.
Yeah. It's Paul Rudd's here.
Hate him so bad.
Paul Rudd.
But it is.
Hate him so bad.
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Oh,
Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd's nice.
He's never done anything bad to me because I don't watch his movies.
But if you watch this, so similar to like the Infinity Wars or Endgames, right? Like if you look at this list, who do you guys think is gonna have like the most screen time? Like who would be your initial guess?
It's gonna be a lot of Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
Thor?
Oh, actually no, because they're gonna be coming off their movie, so I think they're gonna probably run it. Oh, sorry,
I was just gonna say, like, do we think it's Thor? Do we think, like, to your point, Fantastic Four? Like, is this gonna be like Pedro Pascal leading this movie? Like, where is this gonna?
No, if you want my opinion, I think it's the Fantastic Four are probably in the Doomsday thing. Like, that's gonna be their little universe. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what the hell is going on anymore. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is Rebecca Ramjan Mystique? Like, she's like 50.
I think like if the story trying to piece that together fails you, look at money. All right, I'm like, who's getting paid what? This cast is insane. So I think RDJ, he's either in this a lot, or almost not at all. Because what are you paying him for both of these movies? And then you've got a bunch of new actors coming in, the Fantastic Four people. So they're new, fresh, under contract. Cheap-ish, even though, you know, they do have some accolades to their name and stuff. Maybe they're not so cheap, but I think maybe Chris Hemsworth on the end, maybe he does like a heroic sacrifice or something. Maybe you give him a little extra screen time, build him up so you can knock him down. I don't know.
The only OG
don't know what
Avenger,
I think anymore.
Like, I do think, to your point, like, Thanos led the way in Infinity War by a lot in terms of screen time. So I just looked that up, and his 29 minutes, the next closest is 19. So it'll probably be Robert Downey Jr. for the most of this, like, just paving the way.
I just don't know what they have written, guys. Like, I feel like we can't compare Endgame because this was titled a different movie less than a year ago. This was Kang Dynasty. They are pivoting, like they're completely like this is like this. I've never heard of a movie this scale. There's 2 coming out in the next 2 years. And we don't even know anything about, like, this is going to be, like, this is so funny to me. I'm like, guys, what, I feel like everyone's like, whoa, like, what are they planning? They don't have a plan. That's the thing you don't realize. They threw money. The Russo brothers were not planning on directing. That was not the plan. Robert Downey Jr. was not planning on coming back. There wasn't going to be Doomsday. Secret Wars and Doomsday were going to be years now. This is crazy. I just, like, I'm baffled by somebody who sat in the 5.5-hour live stream for a half-baked movie with a bunch of, like, it's literally becoming that or what's it? Electric State, I need you to distract Kang me. This is where we are now. Like, I don't know
Kelsey Grammer's Beast. I need you to distract Kang.
If they did like an X-Men Legend, if they like even like the X-Men coming back, it's like if they were doing like they done a new spin on Fox or a new spin on X-Men, and they want to do like an X-Men Legends movie or something, and they had James Marsden and these guys coming back, I'd be like, a little cheap but fun, but like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you guys, this is so bad.
And just a point on the X-Men, I think it's interesting they're going all in on the OG X-Men, which I guess does make sense, but you have a whole slew of the new gen X-Men, which
Nope, none.
they didn't want to touch them. Obviously, like, you could have done something with Fassbender there, man. Like, I would have been hyped to kind of see him come back. Or
I think that one makes more sense. Like,
we're gonna drag Ian McKellen out of his half-made box
these characters,
but stand him up there, man. Like,
Oh God.
they killed these characters because it died because the trilogy died. Brought them back to life with Days of Future Past, and it was like, wow, what a great way to like mesh the two worlds sound out. Then that thing kind of fizzled. Then they made Logan, which was a new way of killing them off. Let the dead lie, people.
I think they're gonna get killed off once again.
Good.
You know.
I mean,
Well, I'm just. It's a little sad. It's a little sad. No other movie gets to pull like they're making a Wuthering Heights. Who's gonna wander in? It's not gonna be Natalie Portman. You know.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh my God, it's Natalie Portman from. I don't even know. She was in.
It's made. I think Drew Gooden talked about it in his video about Star Wars, where they were talking about like things like death need to matter. If nothing else matters in movies, at least death needs to matter. We've now created a slew of movies where even franchise lines don't matter anymore, let alone death. Like, I don't even know. Like, you could literally be like making a movie, and someone could be like, "Need a hand?" Sherlock Holmes, like, it doesn't. It could be anybody. It could be anyone. Like I don't like. There's no rules anymore, and it's bad.
I'm excited for Doctor Doom to fight the Fantastic Four, and he's like, stretch powers.
Guys,
he overextends. I duck underneath, tap him in the solar plexus.
Yeah. Dude, we missed the era where like we forgot like other try like but the problem is Marvel keeps getting away with it. Like other friends tried. We forget End of Rise of Beasts, that Transformers movie. There was a G.I. Joe tie-in. You should join our team. We specialize kind of thing. There's a fucking G.I. Joe file. I'm like, what are they gonna do against Optimus Prime? I don't like this is. I hate
the state of movies is
so funny.
summed up by a 5-hour live stream of shares. That's what, and there were people tuned into that, which is crazy.
Millions. I was looking on Twitter. Millions.
But that's my
millions
point
of people.
to that. I was just gonna make like we can sit here and call it stupid all we want, but like we're talking about it. So many people are talking about it. Which short term marketing wise, like, it makes some sense, but it was ridiculous to do it for that long.
I'm so heavily conflicted about them because, like, I'm a little happy that Captain America flopped because, like, don't put out bad movies. But
saved lives.
Disney is the only studio that, well, not only, but, like, they are sticking hard fast to the extended in theatrical only model because, when it ends, everyone else is doing, like, 14, 17-day windows, you know? And they're doing, like, it's going to be in here for months. You can't even get it on Disney Plus. Go get your ass to the theater. And then they're doing it because it makes the final number look better. But it is saving theaters, low key. It's like a big pillar.
You're right. Way
it's
to
a
be
big
the
pillar.
That's
a great.
They are a big pillar.
Great soapbox stand there, Micah.
No.
And to your point,
no, you're right.
I did see that.
So I'm conflicted.
Yeah. I did see that someone just said that like Sonic 3 just passed like 500 million at the global box office, and it's just like Sonic 3 is still in theaters. You could have told me that came out last
somewhere.
Them. Honestly, good for them. I haven't seen it, but I'm always pulling for the Sonic franchise. Like that's a movie that I feel like. What are you not? Sorry.
That's where James Marsden's been.
He's been stuck in Sonic Land.
This was his ticket back to
glasses and putting it back on his face. Tell him to get back out there.
I learned the other day that it's not heat vision, by the way.
It's from another world. That's just
pressure. It's like from a portal, another dimension. And it's like when it cuts through you, it's because of force, not because of heat. Oh.
Boo. What are we getting on?
Brian read the other day Say you watched the TikTok, Brian. Admit it.
I didn't. I didn't say I read.
What were you
Did I say I
reading?
read?
If it wasn't
I
a comic
read the
book.
I read the caption. Sometimes I read.
All right. We can talk about
I've been
this.
reading World War Z, which has nothing. World War Z, which has nothing to do with the movie.
We can talk
That's
about
been
this.
fun.
Whatever. I got. Unless you guys have
okay,
anything
yeah,
else you
we
want to say about the state of
No,
Marvel.
no, we should move on. We should move on. We still have to do the movie of
Yeah.
the week.
I guess we could
I knew that was
stay
gonna
on
happen.
Disney though, real quick, to talk about Snow White really quickly.
Your segues are sick, bro.
Thanks, bro. I really be working on them in the
Yeah,
mirror
one
at
of those.
night.
You're out of control.
Man. Snow White's underperforming at the box office. I don't have the specific numbers here, but I know it got like 46 mil opening weekend, and it was projected 50. I think was the initial. I mean, do you guys have any desire to go watch Snow White in theaters? Like, where do?
No, I'm.
It's a children's
ahead,
movie.
Micah.
You know, it's a children's movie. I mean, marketed largely towards like families, little girls. I have no desire to watch it, but you know, I don't think. You know, the same way with all these like live action remakes, did we need this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it opened bigger than Lion King 2, and like I was just saying, they're gonna leave this movie in theaters for so long that it will eventually make money.
Respect to Disney for that.
No.
And also, Mike, I think the problem with this movie too is like when you say like I don't really feel like seeing it. I'm not in that thing. They've made Snow White woke.
Yeah.
No, I don't care because I don't like any of these live action remakes. And I've heard, I actually will give a lot of credit to the like different reviewers who I like are giving it like credit where credit's due, where they're like, listen, Rachel Zegler's great as Snow White. I think it does a good enough job in what it aimed to do. Conversely, everyone says Gal Gadot is pretty atrocious in the movie, but that's fine. But like you said, Mike, it's like I never wanted. I don't care to see it. I don't even really like the original Snow White that much for that.
No,
matter.
that's the point.
I don't really need to see it. But like, no, I don't wish this movie failure just because it's Disney and just because I think the same reason people are like, ugh, fuck this movie. I'm not gonna go out. There's a million things I need. I don't go to movies enough as I should.
Yeah.
And I don't need to see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you hit
Would this earn
the
you?
nail on the head in terms of. I'm not attacking the actors or actresses for whatever wokeness, whatever, but. I don't have the desire to see a Snow White movie in theaters. There's nothing that was pulling me in. And you said it, Michael. Like our demographic isn't the one that's going to be going to this movie.
Kal-El, no. Sorry.
Mirror, mirror, who's the fairest of them all?
Her doing the
No. You have to give me the stone.
Max Lord.
Kal-El, no.
Of the Nile.
And
Dude, how does she still talking about after credit scenes and people dying, dude? When Mike and I watched the newest Fast and Furious movie, when Gal Gadot just pops
back?
up at the end out of a submarine in Antarctica, she's been dead like a decade, and you.
Forgot she was in that franchise.
Dog, yeah. They ran her over with a plane, and she should have stayed ran over.
She's the one that falls off in that long ass runway scene, right?
And
That's
she's
her.
on
Yeah,
a submarine
impossibly
in
long
Antarctica.
runway.
Which circles me back. The Fast and Furious one's guilty of too. With what I was talking about that thing Drew Good said. They've made it off death doesn't matter. Like not even like fake. Like you can do fake. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we don't have to get mad again. I'm just saying Gal Gadot's back in Fast and Furious. How many more movies? I don't think didn't the last one they not even do that well? Relatively speaking,
I don't think
know.
Hobbs and Shaw did that well.
But is it Fast X or Fast 11?
I don't think Fast 9.
I heard a joke the other day about speaking of Hobbs and Shaw that was saying, "Here's my impression of Jason Statham coming out of the grocery store and finding out his car got a ticket." Just like something stupid like that.
I am going to watch A Working Man because I think those are just
Yeah, they're
dumb
silly.
fun. You know? What if he's a beekeeper?
What?
And he's like, oi,
I'm a
the
working
old lady
man."
I live with, someone done fucked her over.
Yeah. Oi.
And I'm a beekeeper.
And now,
And now he's like,
I'm a working man.
I'm a working man.
I'm former MI6, but now I live in New York and do construction. Oi, someone kidnapped me friend's daughter. I guess some time to rough him up.
Oi, I just got off a 12-hour shift. I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'm ready for a barista. I heard you ordered a piping hot cup of justice.
I'm afraid the Frappuccino's gonna have to wait, love. That's they. Honestly, I
no
don't care if
tip?
They keep
Spins
flip
it
the
around.
with the iPad around.
Custom 0. Okay. What else we got? I mean, I can live or
What?
I can leave or take talking about Alto Knights too, as well. Alto Knights is tanking, guys.
Oh,
I had tickets to see it this weekend, but I opted to do laundry instead.
let that speak for itself, right there.
Dude. This is bad.
You
This is bad.
It's such a great year for like people playing two roles in movies. I'm very excited for Sinners.
Yeah. You get those tickets.
But yeah, Alto Knights never seemed like...
What is Alto Knights? Oh.
I don't blame you for not knowing, honestly.
Dude, is it bad that I didn't know this movie was
I just don't know.
at all?
Well, they're not really marketing it.
This is not good.
What? Who? Barry? Who the hell is Barry Levinson?
Name sounds
Like,
familiar.
he hasn't directed movies. He did a bunch in the '90s. Damn.
He's the producer mostly, I think. Maybe.
That's why you guys were talking about Alto Knights, and I'm like, is it bad that I don't know what you're talking about? I'm gonna play
Nah,
along.
it's just... Dual De Niro.
No, I get that now. Now I see what you meant when you talked about the Sinners thing, and I'm like, da 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 da. But I mean, he's done. I'm looking at his directing things like, oh, he did The Bay in 2012. That's a guilty pleasure movie of mine right
The
there.
Bay.
Is that the...
It's when the Chesapeake Bay gets infested with like insects. They get it. Maybe I'll put it on my list of
Yeah.
movies to watch for this pod.
The Bay,
No.
2012.
It's a terrible. It's really bad.
Don't make me watch
It's really
The Bay,
bad. But I used to.
please.
It was like an early Netflix streaming like guilty pleasure when I was like 15. I thought it was like it's like a cool. It's one of those found footage when found footage. were all
Yeah,
the
I'm
rage
looking at it
movies.
right now.
Anyway,
Wow.
no, he has like obviously he looks like he did. Yeah, you looking at it now? Like he directed Good Morning Vietnam, Rain Man, Sleepers. Those are his best movies I'm seeing off the rip.
Alto Knights.
He's done a lot though. He's been in Hollywood a long time.
Cooked.
What has he produced?
Produced?
Mhm.
67 production credits. Anything worth mentioning? Dope Sick.
The Khalil Nanjiani movie?
Shades of Blue. There's a lot of TV shows. The Bay. He's done a lot of producing. He was an executive producer on Oz. Not The Great and Powerful, the prison.
No, I
JV
know,
show.
the HBO prison show.
Yeah.
Where the guy from Law and Order is crazy.
I just know J.K. Simmons is apparently great in that show. No, yeah, he's a Hollywood. He's a staple in Hollywood. He's been around since forever. Yeah.
Any relation to Sam Levinson?
I hope
That fucking pervert.
That's another one. That's another one where I was like, I hope Euphoria season 3 doesn't even. They don't air the whole
Is
thing.
it finished recording? Is that why I saw?
Nope, they literally just started filming it. That was like for day
I think
one of
Zendaya
filming.
filmed all her parts first,
Oh, that's
and then
why
got in
she-
a plane to go film the
That's why
Odyssey.
she's in Europe now.
Everyone in the cast got way too famous. This thing, like I went through it with some of Carly's friends. I'm like, no, it'll be fun. I'm like, go. We looked at the cast season 1. We literally went gone, dead, moved on. Like he died. I'm not making sure. I'm just saying, but like some dead cast members. Then you got like 3 different ones they've ditched since season 1. People who said they aren't coming back. Like Jacob Elordi and Sydney Sweeney are gonna have like limited scenes. They're doing a time jump where now they're married. Anyway, I guess
There's a
Wow.
lot going
All
on.
right.
All right, Mike, I want you. Oh, by the way, he is Sam Levinson's father, so you were right.
Wow.
Holy shit. That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
That is fucking hilarious. So no wonder he got his own HBO show. He's like, what if teenagers were horny and did drugs?
And one of them was addicted to drugs.
I will give credit where credit's due. Season 1 of Euphoria is a great season of television.
Man, I put him in the
credit's
same boat as like who's that guy? He does a lot of work for FX. And it's very like popcorn.
Ryan Murphy.
He's like a Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy. Yeah, he is a Ryan Murphy type. But the problem is, like,
Yeah.
I think everyone thought he was like this. He probably spent a lot of time working on Euphoria season 1. And he made a really good season of television. Then it got big, and he had to deliver. Season 2 is still fine, but then The Idol was just him getting too big for his britches.
The Idol had like some other creative element. I don't know. I don't want to defend Sam Levinson because
I get your point because he's not a good guy.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a one of those things. Well, this brings us to our movie of the week.
Yes,
We're
sir.
talking about
Actually, great transition right there.
the auteur and like where is the line? What's too far? Is this still art? I don't know. Does it matter? Did you have a good time? I will say I did have a good time with Euphoria, The Idol, and this movie of the week, which is Spring Breakers from
2012.
Is it from 20? What year is this
2012.
from? 2012. Wow. See, it was in the back of my mind forever because I definitely was not allowed to see this when it first came out.
It's my first time seeing it.
Yeah, this is also my
I
first
never
time
saw this one
seeing it.
before.
Yeah, same. I just saw it was coming out in IMAX, and I was like, was that an IMAX-worthy movie? I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Just did not know. And this is directed by Harmony Korine, who is he's also made some other movies. Hold on, let me get him out here. Like Gummo, or the new Travis Scott one, Aggro Drift. I don't know if you saw that one or heard about it. The one that's filmed in like the ultraviolet, whatever. But a little plot synopsis about this: 4 friends want to go to spring break, so they rob a little restaurant, get the money to go to spring break, and boy, do they have a time. Spring break, spring
Four
break.
little chickies came down the beach.
Save it, Brian. Save it. We'll need you later. But while they're down on spring break and they're partying it up, they get in a little bit of legal trouble. They're caught at a party where some people are doing and dealing drugs. So they go to jail and they burned all that cash they got from robbing. So they need to get bailed out. And who else is there? James Franco.
Alien.
With cornrows and
Look at my
a
shit.
grill.
Look at all my
a grill.
shit.
And he bails them out. And so now he's like, just hang out with me now. I got you. I got all this money. And then Selena Gomez is like, absolutely not. I got prayer circle next week. I gotta leave. So she dips. Now it's
halfway
just
through.
Yeah, good for her, honestly.
I didn't know
Good
she could
for
just
her.
go. Good for her.
Yeah, he wasn't, say what you want.
I like you so much.
Yeah, the way he kept grabbing her face, I was like, she looks
That was
12.
genuinely
Should leave her
uncomfortable,
alone.
that scene.
Yeah, dude, he was a big weirdo. But after that, it's down to 3 girls and the 1 guy. And they're jamming out. Is it 3 or is it 2?
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 initially, then one then
Oh, I thought there was 4 for some reason.
No, there's 4 total. Selena leaves.
Yeah.
And the third one on one of their little when
Yes,
Gucci Mane
yes.
when Gucci Mane pulls up on
We
them.
can't forget about
Yes,
Gucci.
Gucci Mane pops up.
Can't forget about Gucci.
Drug kingpin rival Gucci Mane pops up and is saying, hey, James Franco, you're on my turf. Back up. Shoots up their car. One of the girls gets shot through the arm, but not before. I don't want to skip this over. They perform one of my favorite scenes.
Yes.
The gun ballet robbery montage.
That was pretty cool.
Britney-
Set
yep.
to some
What's that?
some Britney Spears
Notice
song.
me.
Yeah, that
Good
one.
one,
I
that
think it's
one.
called Notice Me, yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Notice me, senpai.
He's like playing the piano by the pool, grills in, they show up, ski masks on, rifles, and they're like, play us something inspirational. He's like, oh yeah, I want to see my sensitive that. And he's like, he used to start singing.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Look at all
Everything
my
that comes out of his mouth is electric. Dude.
He says a naughty word.
I had such a fun time with this,
I
honestly.
enjoyed it too. Mike, I think you describing the plot like that is kind of I have a couple notes I wrote down about this. One, I remember this movie when it came out, and I think why a lot of people didn't like it. The marketing is very misleading. I went ahead and watched the trailer.
Yeah.
It makes it look like it's like a fast-paced romp, like where it's like, uh-oh, how did things get so out of control? That is not what it is.
Mm-mm.
2, you make it seem like it's like this coherent, like, we robbed this thing, now we're down there, uh-oh, our money's gone. This one, it's almost like a fever dream.
Yeah, that's a great
For
one.
spring break. It's a very different, not in a bad way. It's just like a very, like, kind of like cerebral, like, it's weird. Like, it's like every piece of dialogue they repeat. Everything's repeated multiple times. It's all trippy. It's not like a very, like, streamlined, like, guys, what are we gonna do? We're out of money. Uh-oh, we got bailed out of jail. It's like they're kind of all just like, you're kind of just getting almost like you're on a drug trip being pulled through the movie.
That's a
Like,
great
it's
way
very
of
cool.
describing
I don't know
it.
if you guys felt the
Because
same way.
yeah, going into this movie, like I hadn't seen it before. My perception of it going in was that it was going to be something similar to Project X, where it's partying, things get out of control, maybe they owe someone money. And then when we just get pulled on, to your point, this fever dream where it's very artistic, a lot of slow motion, lots of voiceovers set to, like, it seemed almost like, I think you put it out earlier, Mike, like almost like a music video at times, this whole movie. And one of those lines is when they get stuck in jail and Selena Gomez is the goody goody. She's like, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were supposed to find ourselves here on spring break. I'm like, get over
doing
it. What are
coke
we
at the
talking
fucking coffee
about?
table?
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Not to discredit, because, like, it was corny as hell in the moment, and I'm glad that her friends in the moment were like, God, sometimes she's like,
Yeah,
all right,
sometimes
put
you
down
gotta
the
go
bottle.
buy a house.
I hope we find ourselves. But did they not find themselves? Selena
They
Gomez
did.
realized, hey, man, this
Y'all
ain't
are
it.
fucking-
Yeah.
I
y'all
can't
are
hang.
bitches.
I cannot hang. I need to get out. The other girl, she thought she could hang, then she got shot, and she was like, actually, no, I can't hang
the movie
either.
was going to take a very different turn at one point where it was early-ish in the movie, before Alien really becomes on the scene.
When
Before they
she's
go to jail.
alone in that hotel room.
Yeah, that was
I
bad.
was terrified
That was
for
bad.
I thought the movie was going way different, where it's like, it's them having fun, like, getting down, then it cuts to the three of them in the pool, like, being like, this was so awesome, guys. And you're watching this friend, the fourth friend, like, honestly, I'm like,
She's with like
it's
six
oh,
dudes.
honey, no.
She's with like
Like,
6 dudes.
I was like, oh, this movie took a very different turn.
Yeah, and the guy
There
is
were a
so
couple times-
aggressive with it. And
And
she
then
was
it
just
ends up
like,
that
no, you're not.
She's fine with it.
Yeah,
I
it seems
guess.
like everyone was like, no actually does mean no. Which,
thought too.
good for them.
I also thought that was going to take a turn when they used the guns as strap-ons on James Franco. I was like, at first I was like, whoa, but then I was like, no, this is all a sex ploy thing. They're not actually. I was like, it's not a plan they had from the get-go to be like, we're gonna rob him. But
They are not that smart.
There's a lot going on.
Dude,
there's a
watch-
lot going on.
Yeah. What
he said a naughty word.
That scene in particular just kept going, and I was like, oh, he's...
I suck your dicks every day.
What was the line towards the end of the movie where right before they were gonna like get ready to go shoot up Gucci Mane's house, they said 1,000,000 times, "Is like, are you scared?" or something like that.
You were
He was
scared
like,
of yeah. No, you were they kept on a pussy. They kept repeating
Yeah.
it. What was the? I can't remember.
It was Scaredy Cat or something like that. It was something weird.
yeah.
What are you, some kind of pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like very
at my
aggressive
shit.
with it.
It was
I got
cracking me up.
shorts every color. I got shurikens,
Look at all my
vampire
shit.
teeth.
Shit, look at all my shit. No, there was some weird thing. I have a bunch of notes with them, but I have to address this one thing because it's not really about like the. It's not about the aesthetic of the movie. It's just something I noticed that was like, I was laughing. Is that these girls are at a party like any of us have been on, like after a day drinking in the college or you're on the beach. They're in bikinis. They're doing whatever. They partying. They get arrested. They were doing blow on the party. They got arrested in these bikinis. They spent
Fair.
probably a night, maybe 2 in jail. They wheeled them in the courtroom
In
Yeah.
in the
bikinis.
same bikinis. You couldn't give them a pair of sweats or scrubs.
They get-
And then they
standing there in
leave.
they're standing there in their bikinis like this, and then they leave and they go right to the bar in
This
the
is
same
the
fucking
same
bikinis. And I'm like, yo,
It was horrendous.
You couldn't stop by like a Marshalls and grab like a pair of sweats or like some
A
shorts,
towel,
like
something. It's got to be
towel?
cold. It's got to be cold.
Bro,
It can't be
I've
warm
heard
everywhere.
from people who spent nights in jail. They said it's like you smell after because you're just gross. Like so, but like they're back there like when Selena Gomez like we need Selena Gomez so bad. I'm like, yeah, I bet it's bad. You've been wearing the same
Probably
bikinis
feel
since you got
horrible.
arrested 3 days
Yeah.
ago. Cups and remember
you
the
been
girls?
burning.
They were pouring beer all over each other. They probably that was crazy. I just thought that was funny. I'm like, you couldn't give them a change of clothes.
Yeah, they probably reek. Yeah.
Oh man,
But we knew like Riff Raff James Franco is
Yeah,
a little
that-
freaky boy, a little freaky frog.
I think I love y'all.
Until he gets absolutely one-shotted in the final scene. He
Don't
just
right
gets-
at the right.
Spoiler, he's rolling up looking sick as hell, just gets pieced right off the beginning.
Why did they finish the job? I kind of wonder that. Like,
Because
they didn't freak out.
they're more gangster than
Yeah,
he
they-
is.
they want
I
the
think
car.
that- you saw that.
Do yourself a favor and rewatch the original trailer, not the Red Band one. I didn't watch that one. I watched just the regular trailer that you would have seen. the way they stitch it together makes it seem like it's just like adrenaline fueled, like they robbed the place and they're on the run and then they're partying and partying. Oh, we're arrested. Oh man, we owe this guy money. We gotta work. It makes it look like, and I think, and this is coming right off of Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez's like Disney Channel fame. So like, ooh, I think the wrong people went to see this movie. That's
the wrong people were in our theater,
Yeah.
for sure. The wrong people. I sat
wait.
next to two
When you
lovely
saw
ladies.
It was re-released in IMAX. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we
went and watched that.
That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they didn't play any trailers, which messed some people up. I got sat to these two girls that came prepared. One of them had Chipotle, the other one had a box of cereal that they pulled out of God knows where. So that's what they were doing. They were having a really good time. And then everywhere else, I think,
Also,
was dudes.
just to start off, like go back into the beginning of this movie. These must be the worst girls you could possibly meet at college. They had saved $300 all year for spring break. They were smoking all that money away during the entire year. Then they're like,
And snorting it.
Yeah. They're doing blow.
They're like,
the world's most expensive
why
drug.
can't we? Why can't we afford to go to spring break? And they're like, we don't have a car.
How much money did that? Yeah, how much money did that Chicken Shack have?
Maybe like $700.
Yeah.
Because they were out of it so
And then
quick.
they're like,
with their magic
they stole their
mopeds.
professor's car, and then they're just
Eric-
like, yeah, let's burn it now. Yeah, that'll do. Let's
Maybe don't
burn
shoot for the
it.
private
Put it
villa.
back. They burn
Hey,
it.
here's a tip for fucking spring break. Maybe don't get the private villa, douchebags. How about just get a fucking
You're telling me they're at college.
How much did spring break cost for us?
You're telling me they're at college. Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez would be able to find some dudes to go shack up with. Like, there's just no way that this.
Oh, especially those. Oh, they were like they were those types of chicks too. Like where they're like, Eric, we're out of weed.
Yeah.
Like, because look at that. All they were doing was getting high the whole time.
It was not supposed
my
to
God.
happen
Also, like,
this way.
Oh, actually, points to the movie. Couple things I liked with the score, soundtrack. Really liked it.
Skrillex.
They did the end. It was Scary Monsters, Nice Sprites, but it was like a 71. Two, I loved. Shout out Harmony. What's his face?
Corin.
Harmony Korman. The robbery scene, I thought that was really cool. When she's just circling the block, I thought that was an interesting way of shooting. I like that a lot. I thought that was really cool because it was kind of like a spin on the one take. Because it could have easily followed them in with the camera and showed them being like, "Put the money in the bag." It was kind of nice not hearing what was going on in there. You just kind of saw like from her circling the.
That was.
Yeah. He's clearly. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say?
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say he's clearly a very competent filmmaker, an inventive one too, and he chooses to make movies that are a little bit off. So I'm going like not to quote Wes Anderson or anything, but like from the Last Dispatch or whatever, when he's like the artist segment, when he's like doing all that weird art, and they're like, "Well, isn't he any good?" And he's like, "I asked him to draw a bird, and he took like some shit off the ground and like drew this really beautiful bird, so he could do this, but he's choosing to do that." So that's better.
That's your point.
So I'm like, all right, that's why I bought in. I was like, we had like a 8-minute sequence of ass shaking, beer slopping, and funneling, and I was like, I just buckled in. I was like, what are we getting into?
I was gonna say, I kind of was watching it, like wondering if I was like, is this some guys like, is this the fetishization of spring break, or is it more of like a how it's imagined? I couldn't tell which line he was towing. Like if it was like him being gross, like being like, look at there's college girl titties on the screen, or him being like, it's a gross, like kind of emphasizing how like it's a sloppy. Because like I know our spring breaks, we were mostly out with friends, but like that shit does happen. Not
this
murder,
but
much,
like
but
yeah.
I'm talking about like the opening sequence and like the scenes when people are just being ridiculous. I don't know which way he was leaning.
I definitely, to your point, I kind of went in there expecting one thing and came out being like, not like what was the point of that, but just like confused what he was getting at, I guess. And there were definitely artistic choices in the movie that I really enjoyed that I hadn't seen before. But I did make it the comment in the car ride back that I was like, about halfway through, I looked down at my watch, not like wanting this movie to be over, but just like wondering like, where are we going? Like we're 45 minutes into this story, and I have no idea what we're getting at, like what we're trying to achieve.
Like when Selena Gomez wanted to leave, I was like, oh, but you're not gonna be able to. No, she could.
Yeah. Like, I didn't really know like what.
Like I thought that's
until Gucci Mane
he's
popped
just
up.
like,
I wasn't
"We're
sure what
gonna
the
leave?"
conflict of the movie was. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, baby, right. Like you, what do you say? It's like you playing piano on my dick.
This is a great movie
Dude,
choice, I think, though, for the movie of the week. Like,
Yeah, Micah, good
yeah.
shit. Now I feel bad suggesting mine.
Do we have like a favorite scene? Because like my
yeah,
favorite
go
scene,
ahead.
there's like a couple. Obviously, I shouted out like the ballet,
That was such
the
a
gun
great
ballet, piano, Britney Spears thing. But I think when him and Gucci are having the heart to heart in the back room with the strippers, he's just sitting like this. He's like, "You were my best friend. I taught you how to swim." He's like, "Yeah, you should stick to swimming." I thought that was so
Yeah.
funny. Just ridiculous setting.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
one. I already told you my favorite shot scene was the rotating thing. I guess like funny wise, that whole look at my shit. He kept that shit was cracking
That one
me
really
up.
got me.
Tannin oil for the beach. I got different quotes in every different color. I'm like, what am I watching? They're shooting guns off the pier. Anyway, yeah, Eric, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think you guys hit on the good scenes. That final like shootout scene, them walking up the pier. First off, horrible plan on
Fucking
James
aimbot.
Franco's part.
Aimbot.
Yeah, horrible plan.
Yeah, they had to run down a gauntlet to get to the fucking.
Just like complete slow mo watching it from over their shoulders. I was like, this is pretty fun. Like I was having a good time watching that. But a lot of fun artistic choices leading up to that pier scene. Having them repeat that same dialogue maybe 18 times did start to piss me
They
off.
repeated everything. They
really
repeated
started pissing
everything,
me
though. They
off,
did the
but-
voicemails.
Yeah.
That felt intentional though, because you would have things out of sync, then they would happen later. So those
Yeah.
phone calls to their parents, that was after.
That one makes
good
sense.
point. And him,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
One. The
Spring
same
break.
conversation. Yeah, that one I didn't need that. I didn't need that. Oh man,
He said the N word.
he did say.
I said that in my review on Letterboxd. I was like, James Franco said a naughty word. He just like it's so casual. Like,
He just dropped
like,
it, bro.
He just says it.
He just dropped
He
it.
just drops it. Anyway, I don't know if you guys want to segue right into my movie of the week or the game and do that after. I don't know.
Yeah, Brian, spit out your movie of the week
let's
real
get
quick
your
and then
movie
take us
better.
to the game.
Cool. So this is one I've been meaning to watch since I probably had an IMDb account. In fact, I logged into my old IMDb account and saw it on my watch list. Richard Linklater, written and directed, based on a short story or a book by Philip K. Dick. Sci-fi class. We're going for A Scanner Darkly. It's starring Keanu Reeves, Robert Downey Jr., Winona Ryder. It's a rotoscope animated, pseudo-animated film. I don't know, like they must have shot it live action and like rotoscope. I don't know. It looks weird.
What am I looking at?
It says an undercover cop in a not too distant future becomes involved in a dangerous new drug and begins to lose his own identity as a
We got
result.
Woody Harrelson in there too.
I can share the IMDb page.
No, I'm looking at it.
But A Scanner Darkly.
Hell yeah.
A Scanner Dark. It looks weird. I've been kind of meaning to watch it for a bit, and I just feel like now's a good chance to like try and watch it. It's Philip K. Dick who did like Blade Runner. He did a bunch of
This
he's like a
looks freaky.
sci-fi OG
I'm
guy.
on board.
Total Recall. He's so Philip K. Dick, Blade Runner, Minority Report, original story based on the book A Man in the High Castle, original book. Total Recall, Minority. I already said Minority Report. What else we got? That's about it. That's pretty cool though.
All
Hell
right,
yeah,
yeah.
good
all right.
pick. I'm excited to
There you go.
to watch this. It seems super
Cool.
out there. The Scanner Dark.
It's trip. I don't know. I mean, I like Richard Linklater a lot, so I'm always excited to see what he's gonna do.
Let's run it. We got it next week.
Yeah,
You want to do?
he did Hitman. He did Hitman last year. I really enjoyed
Okay.
Game Time.
Game time. We're gonna start
Yeah.
off, fellas, where you guys were doing the Nolan one when we last left.
Golly,
What? You guys did not have a great start.
No.
So, here's the order you set in to start the game. You got 2 right.
woo.
You know all these are wrong. I need you to set a second order, and then I will give you the answers, and we will go on to the third one. So, make your
Okay.
call. You have your budgets listed over here. I can try to make... Is it big enough for you guys? Can you see everything?
I can see. I can see.
Mine's loading
Cool.
again.
All right.
All right, I'll give you a minute.
Give it a second. It was there, and then it started moving around. But
All right. While
for
you're doing your
everyone-
thing, we should read. Yeah, we should read these out loud as much as possible for
Sure.
listeners only.
Do you want me to read? Yeah, do you want me to read it? So, in the first round, we have... So, Christopher Nolan has... What, 10 What am I looking at here? 12 movies.
Yes.
We have the following: Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins, Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer. Mike and Eric tried to name them all in the order of budget, descending from $250 million at the top to $6,000 at the bottom. They named it from top going to bottom. Dunkirk as the most expensive, followed by Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Tenet, Oppenheimer, Dark Knight, Inception, Batman Begins, Prestige, Insomnia, Memento, and following. Upon reveal, they only got 2 right. Following and Memento are the 2 cheapest films, and they got that right. Following with 9,000 and Memento 9 million respectively. They now have 2 more tries to set the order, and they're going to start beginning. So if you're going for listeners, make sure you call out where you want. You guys have to set your order. Go ahead. So go ahead, set your second order list.
So, Mike, I think looking at this again, I'm thinking at the top going down, starting at 250 million.
Okay.
I think,
do you want to hit?
We gotta take into account.
Guys, I'm gonna give you guys a clue. If you're starting to struggle, I'll give you. What do you guys want? Up to 1 or 2 or 3 hints where I'll be like, "Hey, is this movie off by 1 or off by?" I can do. What do you want? 2 or 3 of those? I think 2 or 3 is probably cap.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Go ahead.
That's cool.
I'll shut up now.
No, I was just not to get all economics 101 here, but just inflation's the thing, right? So I feel like obviously the more recent films we'd like to put near the top. So that being said, I think we got to kick Interstellar down a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe put Oppie up. But that's just my first take. And maybe Dark Knight Rises down. I don't know. It's I think we had our head on straight with Dunkirk being up there. But I don't know. Where's your head at?
I like the direction you're going. I am now trying to think of what makes a movie expensive. And it's you got to pay your actors, you got to pay your VFX people. Those are big costs. And then locations, if you travel with the crew and stuff. And then what are you blowing up? And I know Oppenheimer was made under budget, which is on budget / under budget, because they were really good about both those things. But I think we could nudge it up a little higher. I maybe 185.
I like Oppenheimer at 185.
Either 185 or 205. Yeah.
You want to put it at 185 for now?
Yeah, Oppenheimer 185 million. Perhaps.
I gotta fix that.
And it seemed it was in such a good spot, but it's they did blow up a fucking plane. So
yeah, I'm
they
trying
had
to
a
think
lot of explosions. But
Dunkirk,
I just don't.
I think, is his biggest scale movie, just given the sheer amount of people, boats, planes, all that stuff. So it made sense why we put it up there.
I will also give you another hint if you want to ask and say, is this movie that you're so sure is, you want to be is this movie in the right spot or not? I'll give you 1 or 2 of those too. Just be if you're I want to confirm something. I just feel it's going to be easy. I was considering even giving you guys a 4th try, but that'll take up too much time, I think.
Okay. I think we rip through these, Eric. And then,
do we just,
hopefully get some more
right
greens.
off the bat, do we want to just switch the Prestige and Insomnia? I haven't seen Insomnia, but
the Prestige would go to 40 million instead of 46 million. Insomnia would go to 46 million.
Yeah, but I'm
okay with that switch.
I also want to ask them, do you guys, before I go forward, do you guys want me, if you guys get something right, do you want me to auto-mark it as right? Do you want me to wait till the end of the round? I think it's fair. I could do it that way. It might make your life a little easier.
Yeah, maybe that could make things a little easier.
Okay, cool, because you guys just got one right there. Prestige and Insomnia switch.
All right.
Good stuff. I'm gonna do that now. If you get it, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down normal if you don't have it, because you have to guess it.
So
but
Oppenheimer's wrong.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, that's maybe not the best idea.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we know. Now we know.
All right.
So you're gonna put it in there.
Yeah, I got it.
So I guess the question comes: if we're going from the bottom up, do we think Inception costs less than Batman Begins?
Actually, wait, yeah, that's your last green, right? Because I just realized that completely negates the game. But you'll get that freebie.
Yeah.
The rest of it, you have to name the rest of the order.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could just switch and match.
Yeah. Well, man, I definitely think maybe we move Batman Begins up a little maybe that 150 million marker.
Yeah.
Because that is like, and I think that might be I think we have it as that, and I think it should stay that is the cheapest Batman.
I agree.
The least expensive Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
I think that makes the most sense.
That movie, what could be less expensive from that?
No, I think you're right. Like Inception, between the other ones, like to me, like I don't think Interstellar could cost less than Inception.
I don't think so either.
Inception feels like the only other one because it's just.
All right, so what do you guys think?
Let's put Batman Begins at the 100, 150. I like that.
I'll tell you what I'll do when we get to the end of this round. If it's one off, I'll mark it as yellow. Just so because I want you to see if you guys can get the last one. But I can't reveal if things are right. You know what I mean?
That's
right
Brian telling us we're one off on Batman Begins.
I'm not going to tell you if anything that's the case. I'm saying maybe another one's one off.
Okay.
You can take that. You can take it as what you want. I'm just saying. Maybe they both are. Maybe none of them are.
If it's one off, like I'm just gonna believe that Brian gave himself away here. I think we move Batman Begins firmly into the 100 milli category.
We had it in the 100.
Yeah. And he's saying we're one away with 150 to 100s.
So you want to move it to 1 mil?
Firm to 150.
150.
No, we're leaving it.
You know what?
Right, you want up or down?
You want it up, right, Micah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, we're going up.
All right, make the rest of your calls.
I could see Tenet being made, or Inception being made for $100 million.
Yeah.
That's still a ton of money.
Yeah. Inception at 100 mil?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right there, Micah.
Also, it's one of the older ones.
I'm like, part of me just thinks, like, there's no way. Where we have Tenet at 165, I just don't see a world where it costs more than that.
So we can move it down. Do you want to put that in the 100 to 150 $1 million range? That makes sense.
Cool. I'm cool with that.
There's no firm number.
Okay,
you want Tenet here? During COVID?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Also, post Dunkirk, I'm guessing Dunkirk's still really high up there, and if it didn't make a ton of money, like he probably had to check down a little bit. So what we got left? We got Interstellar, and then we have both Batman movies. And then we have.
Do you want to try Interstellar at 205?
Yeah, it just feels like
that's a lot of VFX.
Do we like
locations?
Yeah,
because the planet Matt Damon's on is like Scandinavia or something.
Iceland.
Iceland, yeah.
So we got both Batmans, and we have. What was our last one? Dunkirk. Dunkirk can't be in that same spot, so we have to put it at like 165 or 160. Which would
I would like, yeah.
So I think out of the three remaining, if Dunkirk can't be the top one, we should put The Dark Knight Rises at 250.
Okay.
Just because it wouldn't make sense for The Dark Knight to make more money than that.
I like that.
We can't have it where Interstellar was.
All right.
So then 165 is Dunkirk, and then 160 is The Dark Knight.
Cool.
This should get us kind of close.
I'm with that.
Okay, so do you guys want, for your last try, do you want yellows for if you're one off, or do you want to try to go at raw dog and see if you can do it?
Give us the yellows. Don't we have 2 more games?
So yeah,
make
it red.
Well, you have at least one more game.
So for this this second, make it red if it's completely off. Make it yellow if it's one off, and then green if we're right.
Yeah, sure thing. All right, give me 1 sec. Let me get these things going. First off,
you got some greens in there.
You got a green.
Hey!
Bing! Bing!
Nice.
Got a couple.
Got a couple, Eric.
We know
check
our
us out.
Batmans, man. We know our Batmans.
Oh
no.
Nope.
Interstellar cheaply made.
Oh no.
Interstellar, they didn't pay anybody.
Let me. Damn. You guys had a couple duds here.
Ooh. Woof.
Yep. That's the way the cookie crumbles, fellas, sometimes. Sorry to break it to you, but here you are. Here you are moving around through. So let me read it out for the people listening. They had from expensive to least expensive: Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Oppenheimer, Dunkirk, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Tenet, Inception, and then we already knew Insomnia, Prestige, Memento following. The only ones I got right were Batman Begins at 150 mil and The Dark Knight Rises at 250 mil. They need to get their Interstellar, Oppenheimer, Dunkirk, The Dark Knight, Tenet, and Inception correct. Turns out I didn't need the yellow because you guys shuffled some things around.
That kind of helps, actually, in a way.
No, just more like and more because like Batman Begins, you had it at the yellow mark, and then you moved it up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, so can you move our winners over? So we got to use some process of elimination here.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. I can move your winners over. That's fair. That makes it visually a little easier. That is very fair.
So no yellows, Micah. And seeing the way it's going with these Batman movies, I feel like The Dark Knight is going to end up either at 205 or 185. And part of me would guess.
You can also call in one or two. I'm giving you one or two hints whenever you want to do it.
You know,
because The Dark Knight can't be
maybe
165.
100 to 150. Yeah. I'm pushing Oppenheimer down a little, I think.
Yeah.
They did a lot of stuff in camera.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that's maybe in the 100, 150.
Yeah.
You want to put Oppenheimer in the 100 to 150?
Yeah, maybe.
So you know the red, I'm just...
What can we agree probably costs the most? Like, obviously, we're going to have
the Batman movies, probably. And then, like, I think, do we put Dunkirk higher or lower?
Are we just way off base with our Dunkirk assumption? I mean, it looks like it costs so much fucking money.
Well, Interstellar is clearly too high. So that's got to come down. Maybe we swap those two. Maybe we swap those two, Interstellar and Dunkirk.
You want to swap them?
How do you feel about that?
Where do you want to put them?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So you want to put Interstellar here? Type dumbass.
Interstellar should go there. Dunkirk can't be 185, so it has to be 205.
No. You want to put
and
Dunkirk
that would make us put Dark Knight at 185.
Yeah.
Here, let me just copy this.
Then we're saying
you want to put Dark Knight at 185?
Yes, but I'm starting to realize
this isn't going to work. 100 million? You don't think so?
It's not going to work because Tenet and Inception have to both go up above Batman Begins because there was no yellows. They can't be like...
Eric is wise. Eric is starting to learn that actually helps you.
So we might need to put Interstellar even further down, man. Or Dunkirk.
You know what? Hear me out. Crazy thought. What if Oppenheimer's the 100 million? And then it gives us more space.
But the thing is, it still can't be Tenet there, or it can't even be Inception at 100 to 150.
I want to go on record here. I don't know which movie it is. You have a serious misconception about a certain movie. Drive
Oppenheimer up. Drive Oppenheimer up.
I don't know. I can tell you which way, one or the other, but one of these when the dust settles, unless you figure it out, you're gonna actually. I guess you kind of have a misconception about two movies, but especially one. You're gonna, if you don't get these all right, you're gonna be like, "What? How did we fuck that?" So, use that as you will. You now realize the Dark Knight can't stay here, right? Because you will be conflicted.
No,
is that what I've heard?
What about Dark Knight 205?
Yeah,
it is
there. I like that.
Do you want to switch it, or do you want to just switch them?
Switch them for now. Switch them for now. Yeah.
Dunkirk can't stay there. But
no, Dunkirk can't stay there.
If we have the Dark Knight up there, Dunkirk is down below Batman Begins.
Yeah, I think that is true as well.
So you want to put it here?
What if we switch?
What do you want?
Yeah.
Swap.
I mean, if we put that there and leave it like this, then that means Tenet and Inception are above Batman Begins, along with Interstellar. We got to decide where we think the money falls there. Interstellar would have to stay where it is at 165.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we just have to decide which more expensive.
Tenet and Inception.
Yeah. Are we safe to switch Oppenheimer and Dunkirk?
You want to switch them?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that too.
Switch them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that call.
And then, the order, like you said, and then we'll read it through, and then Brian, tell us if we.
So I think we would. What do we think? Do we think Inception is more than Tenet?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then let's run it. Put Inception up. Which would everything would fit. This
all
way.
right, are these your final answers, folks?
For better or for worse, read them off, Brian.
All right, I want to just say now that first off, Micah. Holy shit, what a switch at the last second. You got those two right.
Those
two were fucking huge. You guys were so close. Because what you did get right was, yes, Interstellar is 165. However, Tenet is the 205 million movie. And yeah. You guys got so close. You got so close. These are both yellows here. These
Tenet,
are both
second most expensive is wild.
Yeah, this is a yellow right here. That was pretty close. It's a 185. Is it right? It's 185. Did I get that right? Yes. Dark Knight is 185 million. Inception was only 160 flat, so that was a red.
Wow.
And then Tenet was 205. You guys got
Wow.
pretty close. For a round at the beginning, I kind of thought you guys might have fucked that up, but like Micah being like, I feel like we got to put Dunkirk and Oppenheimer below
Yeah.
Batman Begins, and then you switch them because I was about to be like, oh no, he was so close.
That
was pretty good, guys.
Look
I
at
knew
Dunkirk.
Oppenheimer was a round number. I knew that. Oppenheimer
That
was
pretty
like,
good.
they came in
Micah
under
switching
budget.
them at the end, I was like, holy shit.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
That's well
this
done.
is a fun game, Brian.
Yeah, that was good.
All
All
right.
right, this next one's gonna be really fun.
All right.
All right,
I'm really
that's
excited
fine.
for this one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to actually echo. Okay, before we go into the thing, I'm gonna do the announcement. There's 14 movies listed with a budget listed. You don't have a word bank, but you know of them.
Okay.
No cheating. Do you want to call your spot, or do you want to just guess? And if it's on the list, I'll reveal it. I'm kind of going back and forth because
What do you mean by call your spot?
I'll just go into that.
Yeah, can you show
It's
us?
the top 14 most expensive MCU movies ever.
Oh God.
So what I'm saying is, if you guess a movie, whatever it is, you have to say, I think that this movie is $200 million or whatever. Because if you guess it, I don't know. What do you think?
I think we
and
should
honestly,
just.
I won't nitpick about the 7 through 9. If you guess it's to 250 million, I'll give it to you. I'm just saying, do you want to call your spot, or do you want to just guess what movies are on the list?
I want to get through all three games. So the second time, can we just guess?
Yes,
I
absolutely,
think
man.
we just guess. Yeah.
Okay, but I want you to go one at a time. I want one at a time or clear answers, so it's not just a shouting match.
All right,
I-
Eric, you may proceed.
All right. I'm gonna start with Endgame.
You like Endgame?
Avengers
Endgame likes
Endgame.
you.
Huzzah!
Yeah, you do like it. Bing.
I like Infinity War.
What do you, man? Well, you think it'd be number 2, but it's not. It's number 5. Oh, sorry about that. I hit the mic.
I'm gonna stick with the Russos and say Captain America: Civil War.
Civil War is on the list, and I'm just gonna I gotta make sure I reveal the right one, so I don't reveal the wrong one because I have it listed how I wrote it. Because some of them are the same price. Shit, fuck me. All right, freebie.
Freebie.
Yeah, Britain.
Freebie. I Britta. There we go. Okay,
All right.
you got a freebie. Guardians 3 is on there. Now it's the top 13. MCU
Give me Black
movies.
Panther 2, Brian.
Ooh.
Wakanda
Correct.
forever.
Sorry, it was hard with the ones that are all listed the same. Yes, it is on there. So you got there. Sorry, I blew one of them. My bad.
They
Nah,
opened
that's
up that
okay,
checkbook
man.
after the $1 billion.
That's a good thought. I'll do Avengers: Age of Ultron.
That is on the list, fellas. Number 2.
Man.
Can I get let me think. Can I get Ant-Man 3?
I'm sorry, Micah. You can. It's number 3.
Oh,
That's what I knew that would be
That's
expensive. I knew that'd be
crazy.
expensive.
Oh, fuck me.
I knew that'd be
Oh,
expensive.
he fucked it. He fucked it.
I fucked it, bro. I knew
Oh.
this. He's better.
Wait, what'd you say? What
No,
did that one
Eric,
say?
Eric can just get a freebie. Then I
Oh,
guess.
no.
I don't have
It
them
didn't
numbered.
reset the Guardians one.
For the people.
I don't have them numbered on my list, so I'm like trying to look and click, and it's not working. Sorry.
It's okay.
This is a patch game. That's okay.
You can
Fuck
just
me.
show it.
That's so. No, well, this is there. It is Quantumania. All right, Eric, guess it. Just guess it. You can
All
cut it
right.
in the
It
pod.
was Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness was the third one.
There it is. Which I thought was crazy how high that was. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very
It
careful
looks it.
going
It
forward.
looks it. It's one of the few that looks it.
I'm
I
be
would
very
like to
careful.
guess Shang-Chi.
Ooh.
That is incorrect.
Wow.
Not on the board. Okay,
Oh.
I'm being very strategic about picking, not just on highlighting.
All right. Let me
Willy-nilly.
think, man. Let's try. I'm looking back at some of these. I'll do Guardians 2.
That is incorrect.
Damn.
Can I get the Marvels?
Yes, you can, Micah.
Wow.
It is number
Okay.
6.
Wow.
It's shocking. isn't it?
How about Spider-Man: No Way Home?
Eric bookmarks the list here at the end.
Bang.
Last one on the list.
Got it.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Is that's the third one?
Yeah, it's the one with Tobey
Okay,
Maguire,
yeah,
and
the
then-
Glub
yeah.
Shido one. Okay.
Yep.
Glub
Glub
Shido.
Shido.
Can I get Iron Man 3?
You think, but you can't.
Did the OG Avengers make it on here?
It did, Eric.
Whoa.
Let me double check. Let me double, triple check before I click anything. Yes, you did. There you go. It's on there. 3 left. Unfortunately, I gave you 2 of them, kind of, but that's fine. So you guys were doing better than I thought. Anyway, so it's fine.
Killing it.
Can I get the first Black Panther movie?
It is not on there.
Oh, racist.
What
I'm not giving any
about-
hints because you guys have been clearing through these.
What about Captain America Winter Soldier? Did it get on here?
It is not on there.
Damn.
But number,
The
so
lines here
let's just for
are
the people
crazy.
listening. Number 1, 400 mil, Endgame, 365. Number 2, Age of Ultron at 365. 350, number 3, Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. 4, Quantumania. 5, Infinity War. 6, The Marvels at 274 mil. Captain America Civil War at 7. Guardians 3 at 8. They still need number 9. Number 10, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Number 11, still needs to guess. Number 12, The Avengers. 13, still needs to guess. And 14, Spider-Man No Way Home at 200 mil. So there's 3 movies left. One 200 mil, one 236 mil, one 250 mil.
I got a crazy shot. Is the Eternals on the list?
It is on the list.
Nice.
Mike.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Nice
See, this would
call.
have been way harder if I made you guys call your shot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If you had
Yeah,
to
this
call,
would have
so
taken
hard.
forever.
Yeah.
You had to call. You had to call your
So
shot.
it's
You
taken
had to get-
forever.
Okay. Let's get. I mean, the trend here is new. So how about Deadpool versus Wolverine?
It is Eric, and
Wow.
that is number 13. Deadpool
Wow.
Wolverine. There's one left. One left on the board that you need to get. I feel you got most of the difficult ones. Some was
Is
some
it-
might be.
The first Captain Marvel.
No.
Oh, okay. I think I know what it is then. I think I know what it is.
All right, Eric.
You know what it is? Damn.
Take a
I
shot.
didn't-
They no strikes.
I know. I'm trying to think of I'm just not dialed into these movies. I'm trying to think of the new ones. No, it didn't cost more. Was it the newest Thor movie, Love and Thunder?
Yes, it was Eric. There
Oh,
it
that
is.
was my
Ah,
guess.
that's the
Good
list.
job, Eric.
That
was my guess.
Top 4, not including Captain America 4.
Now,
These are the most expensive
just
Marvel
for
movies up
funsies,
to date.
how many of these did not do as well as expected?
I thought about adding that as a thing, and I was like, you know what? Let's not overdo it.
We can
I
do
don't know.
box
Well, we
office
can list them off.
sometime. We can do it.
Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and the Wasp, The Marvels, Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, Eternals. Yeah, that's 7 of these 14. Half underperformed. Which is not to say they're all bad, but they did underperform. Half.
300 performed? No, that one did
Who?
well, didn't it?
I said
Guardians
Thor
3.
Love and Thunder. I didn't count Guardians.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was gonna say Guardians 3. I would say out of this list, besides like obviously the big ones like the Avengers movies. Like,
I mean, yeah, but dude,
I mean, I like that
3
movie
of those
fine,
top
fine,
6 are insane choices. Like
yeah, right. Out of the, think of the
Doctor
top 6 here. You
Strange,
think
Ant-Man,
you would-
and the Marvels.
Quantumania is crazy at number 4 to me. That is an absolutely insane budget for a movie that looks like it was rendered in front of your eyes. All right, last one, then we can wrap up for today. Same game you guys played before, but I picked new movies and franchises.
I was
All
so
right,
proud of my Dune picks last
You
time.
did really well, guys. Let me try to see if I can make this bigger for you guys. See if I take
And
this
can you
all
get
in. I
all
don't
the
know.
budgets? Because last time there was a missing budget down low.
No, I did not. I got them all. They're all here. Can you see Amazing Spider-Man at the bottom?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Can
read
you-
them
is
off,
it-
Brian. Read them off.
So you have a Pacific Rim, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Top Gun: Maverick, The Conjuring Trilogy, Frozen 1 and 2, Uncharted, The Meg 1 and 2, Ready Player One, 2005 King Kong, the Peter Jackson one, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, number 4, Brad Bird directed, and The Amazing Spider-Man. And budgets, in no particular order: 432 mil, 300 mil, 140 mil, 260 mil, 90 mil, 175 mil, 230 mil, 170 mil, 205 mil, 281 mil, 120 mil, and 100 mil. Now, I think we're going to go similar format. I'm not going to go strikes, but you guys got to guess one at a time just so it's not a shouting match. And let me make sure I have the answers up because this one will be important for that.
281 mil is vicious, Brian.
Sorry. I didn't realize I had a 280 and... Do I have a 280 and a 281?
No, you don't.
No.
But
Okay. I thought I had
the 281 is
That
just...
would have been cruel if I had a 280 and a 281.
Cruel.
All right.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Can I go first?
Yeah,
Go for
Micah,
it.
All right.
please.
I'm gonna say Frozen 1 and 2, 300 mil.
Ding, 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 ding. Wow,
Damn.
Michael, right off the
Good
rip,
shit.
buddy. I'm gonna mark the. I'm just gonna put them out as this. I'm gonna mark the ones on the bank as green, so you don't know that they're gonna be using them again. So yes, Micah got it. Frozen 1 and 2 cost 300 mil respectively. I believe they both made over $1 billion respectively.
Yeah.
So those ones both credit. I had not looked at the box office for all of these. You can look into them after. Eric, go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to pull one from what I remember, and I remember talking about the movie F1 coming out this summer, directed by the same director from Top Gun Maverick, and the F1's budget's like 300 mil. And I feel like I talked about the Top Gun Maverick budget being like 175.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect.
I tried to big brain it.
All right. The best thing about horror movies is that you can make them cheap and people show up. And the lowest number on here is $90 million, and I think that's the Conjuring trilogy.
A good guess, Micah. Unfortunately, incorrect.
That was I was gonna go there too.
What the
Micah.
heck is on here that was made for $90 million?
I mean, I'm gonna dude. There's no way, right? I'm gonna guess because it's way in the past that the King Kong movie cost 90 mil to make.
They're
I'm
correct.
glad I made this complicated. No, wrong. I
Wow.
it was gonna be too easy.
Wow.
Wrong. Wrong.
All right.
All right. Keep going.
You know what?
So one of these movies or franchises, there's only one on, like, shocking because, like, it's difficult to guess is one thing. There's only one on here where I was like, what? Are you shitting me? I'll let you do the judge of that. Go ahead,
go
Micah.
way up top. You're coming off of two very relatively successful movies, and you absolutely take a swing in the third. So much CGI. I'm thinking $432 million to make Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
So, Micah, you know what's funny? You are correct. That's the second movie, though.
What?
You are correct.
Well, then you're coming off. It makes even more sense because you're coming off $1 billion.
Oh, I just meant more like, no, you're right. But it's just like, I thought, like, I'm like, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the movie where nothing happened, cost 432 mil.
Yeah, that one especially. At least the last one had a lot of dinosaurs, flying crickets, and
this one, this one had that sequence. They escaped the island, and then they're in an haunted house.
that could be pretty expensive. That would be
All right,
super expensive.
There you go.
That makes sense.
You got two. That was a good pull, Micah.
All right. I'm going to do
All right.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol for 100. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to do 140 mil for that movie.
It's so crazy you guys got the top three right here on this list. Yes, you did. That is correct.
Let's go.
Good stuff. Good pull. Good pull. Nice work. All right, moving on.
All right. I am thinking that Uncharted probably cost a cool 260.
No, sorry.
Oh, all right.
I kind of thought that. I honestly thought too it was going to be a cool, stupid number. It's a little low. Well, that's the highest number left on the list. Or no, almost the highest number left on the list. It's a little lower than that.
That's a clue, Eric. That's a clue.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to do the Amazing Spider-Man hundreds.
No, sorry. I'm telling you, when it's all the budgets are weird. You think you got it figured out.
It came out around the same time as the Dark Knight movies, and I'm like, dude, there's no way it costs. I mean, maybe it does.
The second Amazing Spider-Man costs less than the first one. I cannot believe that. It's not on this list, but it costs less than this. Trust me, I thought that was weird too.
I'm gonna take a swing here because this is not an American production, and they're not the most transparent. And I think this could be a point of pride for them. I think the Meg 1 and 2 cost somehow $90 million.
No, it costs. Listen, I know what's written about what it costs, but no, it's not that.
All right.
You know what? I like where your head's at. I knew I picked one of these movies. I'm gonna when we're done, I'll talk about how I'm proud of myself.
Pat yourself on the back there, Brian.
I am. Well, when you made the Jeopardy thing, I want to make it a good.
No, it is good.
For
It
you
is
guys.
good. It is good.
Because I threw some stuff in here that like throw you off.
Pacific Rim 230.
Let's see. Ooh, no dice.
Damn.
I want to take notes about which ones you guessed already, pals.
We already guessed that.
Oh.
No,
I feel like I've got it.
Might...
I got it to a degree right now.
No, I know. I'm marking the ones you guys got right, but I'm not going to mark all the ones you already guessed to other ones. But no, that's not correct.
All right. King Kong 205.
Ding, 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 ding,
Let's
ding,
go,
ding, ding, ding.
Micah. Let's
Micah
go.
got it. 205 for Peter Jackson's 05 epic.
That's the one with
King
Jack Black in
Kong.
it, right?
Yep.
Scarred
It's a good
me
one.
for
It's
life.
a little long, but it was
Scars
good. Oh,
me.
the worm? Was it the worms?
Yes, it was the
That was
worms.
crazy. Yeah, that
Dude,
shit
I was
scared
getting
me
my
too, when
hair
it just-
cut. I was like a little kid. I couldn't even turn away because the guy was cutting my hair. I just had to watch. Horrible.
Yeah, no,
Does
that
it
shit was
have
crazy.
Adrian Brody, or am I thinking of?
It does, and Kyle, not Kyle Chandler, he's another one. Adrian Brody. There's a bunch of people. Naomi Watts is the lady.
Weird. What a weird,
Andy
weird
Serkis
man.
is both Kong and a crewmate. Continue, Eric. What do you got?
All right, I'm gonna do the Conjuring trilogy for 120.
I'm sorry, Eric. That's not correct. Should I give him
I
points?
mean,
you
we're
guys?
right down for the Conjuring.
We're
My
getting
kid, it
there.
would only be 100 then,
You
unless
know
we think
what?
it's way expensive.
This is some really good IP. This is like best-selling IP. I don't know why people like it. You like it, Brian. And
I
also a big, huge, humongous name attached.
Oh,
And it had a buttload of
I like the
CGI.
book. I like
I'm
the
thinking, yeah, you like reading the dictionary. But Redder Player 1, 260.
wrong. And you know
So
what?
it's-
And boo you on that diss. I read that shit in 2018. I thought
Boo
it was
you
2017. I
on
thought it was cool.
I know, I was there, Brian.
Fuck it.
Rise,
We were roommates. Oh, yeah, we were roommates when I read that. That's right.
Rise, Dawn, War. Okay, or is it Dawn, Rise, War? Which one's first? Is it Rise or
Rise.
Dawn? Rise is first.
Rise.
Okay. So I'm looking at this like, what could be the most expensive movie or trilogy remaining?
Make sure everything's in there.
Like 281's crazy. No way. I'm gonna do 120 for Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Sorry. Nope. Felt like a good guess, didn't it?
Sorry. Can I do Ready Player 1, 281?
No, you may not.
I thought for sure that'd be, just for some reason, the most expensive.
Yeah.
What's the biggest one on the list? 281's the biggest one on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at this list. Like, I mean, we haven't touched Pacific Rim. No, 281 Pacific Rim.
That's correct, Eric.
Wow, that is
Another big name.
That is ridiculous.
Pacific Rim is 281. You got
I think
it.
the
Good
first
job.
one made its money and then some.
I mean, that was a huge movie. It had to. They made
Yeah.
a second one, so
All right.
without Guillermo.
Give me Top Gun Maverick 230.
No,
Oh,
sorry. I thought so too.
Tom Cruise Magic 90 mil. Top Gun Maverick.
I mean, like,
Self-funded. He actually
It's his own plane.
let me do Uncharted. Micah, I think you said 260 for Uncharted. I think that's what you said.
I went cheap. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
already
do.
forgot, but-
I'm gonna do Uncharted for 230.
Wrong.
Can I get Mission Impossible Ghost
We already did that.
Protocol?
We already got that.
Oh, we did.
You got
Oh
that
shoot! All right, you're.
Yeah, you did. That one's good.
Well, that would have
Sorry,
been a
yeah,
wrong
Faye, you
guess.
see the ones over there?
You know what?
Do you want to make
Heck-
it green? Does that
heck
make
it.
it better?
No. No. If you could since we already have the numbers on one side, if you could black out the numbers on the other side. Actually, no.
What,
Never
when,
mind.
when they're got, I have the
think-
green.
No,
I can-
actually, never mind. Don't change anything. I just was being forgetful. Yeah. Let's aiming for the moon. Amazing Spider-Man, $90 million.
It's not.
Uh,
Sorry.
This is
Amazing
crazy.
Spider-Man 230.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's
Oh,
go.
shit, Eric.
A
Way
far
to
cry
go,
from
buddy.
$90 million.
Way to go, Eric. It is 230 mil. The second one only cost 200. I thought that was weird. I figured it would have been more.
That is so
I don't
much
know why
money.
it cost. It must have been IP things. I don't know. There must have been money involved in getting that. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Something happened.
This 90 mil is
Okay.
gonna throw
Okay.
me for a.
Was Uncharted made for $90 million?
It was not.
Oh.
It was not. That would have made it a little more justifiable, maybe, but no, it was not.
No way Ready Player One was 90 mil.
Dude,
That's
no
so
way.
crazy.
No way. Okay, I put Top Gun Maverick for one of the ones. I think Top Gun Maverick for 175. I may have already said that.
You already said that one. You want to try again?
All right, 170.
You want? No, I'll get. No, you already. Yeah, it's 170. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Dickhead.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you said 175 before because you said What
I
was
had
it?
the
F1's
number, man.
250.
I had the
You
number.
Had it right. Sorry, I gotta play it fair. It's
No,
fun
I
stuff.
had
Good
it. I
stuff.
had it. 5 mil.
Good stuff.
All right, I've been hammering this 90 mil, and I know it's annoying, but oh my god, Ready Player One, 90 mil?
No, it's not
Oh,
Ready
what the-
Player One.
Dude, are you telling me the Meg 1 and 2 cost $90 million?
No, we already guessed that one.
Yeah.
We already guessed that one.
We've guessed the Meg, Ready Player One,
Then it's Rise of
Uncharted.
the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, it's Rise of the Planet of the
What?
Apes, 90 mil. Yeah, the other ones cost like double that, but
Yeah.
the first one cost 90. That's what I
Wow.
was I
Oh,
tried
so
to
there's
throw you-
way more people and way fewer
I
monkeys.
tried to throw you off on that one because the other ones cost like
Mm.
150 and 170.
That's
No,
good,
the
Brian.
first
That's
one
good.
cost 90. Yeah, Brian can come up with something cool every now and then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow,
See,
we got
I,
that
I
one.
was gonna combine the trilogy, and I'm like, they'll know the other ones are expensive. I'm
Yeah,
like, this first one was weirdly cheap. Like weirdly cheap.
I like where your head's at. Okay. Can I
right.
get the Conjuring trilogy 120?
Let me check my notes. No, you cannot.
Ah,
Okay, this is really pissing me off, dude. There's no way the Meg 1 and 2 cost $260 million.
You you think, but it did.
God damn it.
Yes, the Meg 1 and 2 cost $260 million.
no
I don't
way.
think did they even give the second one a theatrical release? I don't even remember.
Yes.
Those things hit in like
maybe not
China.
here, but
I think those things do crazy
I think that's
overseas.
the thing. That's the thing. The money, yeah, they did. The first, because the second one takes apparently mostly the back half of the first one's in China. It's like 50-50. I think the second one is almost entirely in China.
That's insane.
makes sense. Yeah, Jason Statham as
Oi.
the scientist.
Oi.
Put a hold on the put a hold on the dumplings. I'm gonna go
There's-
fight this shark.
There's always a bigger shack. I don't
There's
know.
always-
Whatever you're saying.
Okay, I
Always
thought
a
we
bigger
fought a
fish.
Meg. Is there an octopus or a squid?
Maybe. Maybe.
There's
All
a
right, there
bigger
you go.
Meg.
All right, you guys, you got 3 left.
All right.
Bang them out.
Uncharted cost $175 million.
It did not.
Frick.
Okay.
It did not. Sorry.
I could go about it another way, but the Conjuring trilogy cost $100 million.
Oh, it did. Yes, good shit. Why am I
Get
playing
out of
with
here,
these
man.
things?
All right. Well, let's wrap
120,
it up
yeah,
here. Ready
100.
Player One, $175 million.
Yep, there you go.
Uncharted
Yeah.
120. Wow.
120 for Uncharted. There you go, guys. Good
Yeah.
job. Well, hey, I'm
We
glad
did
I,
it.
was,
Pretty
I
good.
was worried when I redid it that I lost like some of the things, but I think the Rise of the Planet of the Apes fucked you guys up.
Yeah, it
'Cause
fucked me
you-
up.
Yeah.
You
for
thought
sure.
this had to have been like some big like CGI monkey movie, and then it ended up being.
We were
90
avoiding
mil.
that and Pacific Rim for a long time. Like, I wasn't looking
Yeah.
at those lists. I kept wanting to get
Well, I'm glad
like
you guys enjoyed our budget game. We'll have to play
Yeah.
a different game next time, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. That was fun. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing now, and that also put us at about 2 hours now here, so that's good.
All right.
no, it's
Well,
good.
Let's wrap it up.
Just to reiterate, we're on YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
get
right.
busy knowing.
Come see our handsome faces at Well Hatted Cinema Club on YouTube. Got 3 episodes up there. Maybe
Spotify to come.
Yep.
Yep. And
What else,
we
fellas?
will. We're gonna be hitting other platforms soon. Just keep an eye out for that. Movie of next week is Brad.
Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly.
Hannah Darkly.
And we should be able to record get on a more weekly schedule. I think we
Yeah.
should be able to get going here. I think we're good. Now we're
If we
back.
could start putting these out regularly over the weekends after recording on a weekday,
That'd
I
be
think
super.
that puts us on a pretty normal schedule. So for anyone listening, thank you guys so far. More to come. We're having a lot of fun doing this. Probably the best to watch on YouTube because you can see these games. But
Yeah,
we'll try and
right.
make it more accessible for everyone to listen to. But we appreciate anyone that's tuned in so far, which
All
is
right.
pretty much just us,
right.
maybe so far. But